Merry Christmas. I know you're interested in learning the uke a little bit, so I figured I'd make this video to kind of help get you jump started on that. Feel free to skip around, or you know, if you're stuck on a part, just kind of pause on it and work on that, and then you can move on. And keep in mind, you know, just like any instrument, it'll take some time before you feel totally comfortable on it. You know, we're going to learn some chords later, and you know, at first you're going to have to really kind of like place your fingers and be really careful about it. And then, you know, not even that long, in like a day or two, if you just keep at it, it'll feel, you know, a lot more natural and easy. But this is sort of organized into a couple sections. So we're going to start with tuning. Now, your standard ukulele, you can tune it however you want, really. I like playing around with tunings. You can kind of do that and mess around with it. But your standard tuning for ukulele is going to be G, C, E, A. A lot of people go, my dog has fleas. That's kind of the, I don't know why that's the thing, but that's what people use to remember it. I'm going to send a link. There's going to be a link in the description to an app that is a free tuner. You can just put it on your tablet, and it will, if you play the strings to it, it will tell you what to do, basically. Okay, so now we're going to move on to some basic fretting technique. So this is going to be really weird and hard to get at first, so don't worry about it too much. But you want this hand, your fretting hand, that's the one that plays the strings up here, to be as loose as possible. You want to, the trick I always do is I hang my thumb here, and you just sort of swing it back and forth. There should be no tension in it. It should be like you could flop it any way you want, basically, super duper loose. And then you swing it up and just sort of let it rest loose. You should be able to remove the neck, and it will be sort of this like Lego hand kind of shape. The same thing you'd use to basically hold a coffee mug, a pair of binoculars, really anything like that. You want it to be nice and loose, nice curvature in the fingers, so you're playing with your tips there, and no tension in there. And when you fret, you want to pull from your elbow. You don't want to be pressing like that. That's super duper bad for your wrist and your hands and your fingers. And you want to, basically, your thumb's just there for counter pressure. You want to be able to kind of play all the strings just loosey-goosey, as loose as possible, all pulling from that elbow there. And this is the trick. So look at my pinky here. Your first instinct, a lot of people's first instinct anyway, when they're learning to play, is if they're just playing with one finger or something, they pull their pinky back here. And I don't know that there's much necessarily wrong with it, but it makes it kind of hard to do stuff if you need to use your pinky later, because you got to pull it all the way from over there. So what a lot of people do is you just sort of tuck it under your hand there, and then it's just a quick extension like that. And so then if you're just playing C, you're not back here, you're here, and it's a lot looser. And then if you need your pinky like that, that's going to feel super duper weird. So don't worry if that takes a second to get used to. Your right hand, you want to put like kind of right along the forearm here, kind of right along the back end of the body there, allowing your wrist to move nice and freely. You don't want there to be any sort of, you don't want to be doing the whole arm, it's just in the wrist, basically. Okay, so we're going to move on to some chords that we're going to learn. We're going to learn C, A minor, F, and G. So we're going to start with C. C's the easiest by far. C, all you do is you take your ring finger right here, and you place the tip of it on the 3rd fret of the A string, like that. Strum the whole thing. Got yourself a C chord right there. Sounds great. Okay, now we're going to do a very similar thing. We're going to take our middle finger here, and we're going to place it on the 2nd fret of the G string there, and strum the whole thing. There's an A minor chord right there. Sounds really nice together. Great, okay, now we got C and A minor. Those two sound great together. We're going to add a 3rd. We're going to go to F. So keep that middle finger on there, right there, locked on the pulse, and take your index finger and place it on the 1st fret of the E string like that. That's an F chord. It's sort of like a little kind of sharp tooth shape there, and you just put that right on. So we have C, A minor, and F. And now we're going to learn the last one, which is G. G is going to be the trickiest one, so no worries if this one takes a little longer. You're going to take your ring finger there, put it on the 3rd fret of the E string. Now take your middle finger, place it on the 2nd fret of the A string, and take your index finger here and place it on the 2nd fret of the C string and strum the whole thing. That there is a G chord. So all of those together, we can do something fun. We can go like C to A minor to G to F back to C. And you're grooving just like that, 4 chords. And we can work on a strum pattern here. The basic strum pattern that everyone learns sort of when they're first learning a string instrument is, people call it down, down, up, up, down. And basically that's down, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down. So we can go. So, we got all those 4 chords. You're grooving along. In the description, I'm going to put a link to a couple other videos that I think you can find helpful if you're ready to move on from this one. And as well as some a link to some chord charts so that you can look up some more fancy chords if you want. There's tons. You can kind of make up your own. That's what I like doing with my own tunings, is you don't really know where the chord shapes are, so you're just kind of placing your fingers wherever something sounds good. You can kind of do whatever you want. There's no rules to it. Just enjoy it and have fun. Thanks. Merry Christmas. Love you.